3C2A men's basketball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Tonight, it's Cuesta hosting Ventura. Start time for the men, 5 p.m. Join Mike Cepeda, Jeff Storinoff, Matt Henson with the coverage here live from Cuesta College. We'll see you soon.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Joe Kep Realty and Crown Plaza Ventura Beach. And remember, everybody, to join us the weekend of March 9th through the 12th at Las Positas College as we bring you the 3C2A Men's and Women's Basketball Championship. You can watch the game online, either on YouTube by searching for SoCal College Sports 1, or you can also watch us at www.socalcollegesports.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at SoCalCollegeSpo as well. March 9th through the 12th at Las Positas College, STCS will be bringing you the 3C2A Men's and Women's Basketball Championship. Be sure to watch on YouTube or our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. And also make sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at SoCal College Spo, and also on YouTube by searching for SoCal College Sports 1. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Joe Cap Realty and Crown Plaza Ventura Beach, Ventura's only beachfront hotel.
And a very pleasant good evening and welcome again to Ventura College Basketball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the VC Sports Network. Jeff Stoynoff joined by Mike Cepeda, Matt Henson, the entire SoCal College Sports team. Long trip up here to San Luis Obispo, but here we are ready for doubleheader action. We'll start with the men, and Michael, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. Two teams that have separated themselves here in conference play. They're both 5-1 coming into play tonight, and I think the stakes here are very high tonight. Realistically, the team that wins this game very likely looking at a playoff bid.
Well, you know, off camera before the game, you said this is high noon type action. Think quick and the dead.
Yep.
This is going to be a track meet between both teams and who's going to shoot it better. Interestingly enough, the last 9 times that Cuesta has played Ventura at Ventura, 8 times Cuesta has come away a winner. Over here at home, they're about 50-50, so might be something in the water at Ventura that maybe makes them play a little differently, but Cuesta and the Cougars look a little bit different at Ventura versus at home, which is, I think that's very striking to me.
Yeah, a good bus ride maybe brings the team together, I guess, as it turns out. Well, speaking of differences, a major difference here tonight for Ventura College as opposed to a few weeks ago, the first time these two teams met. He has a name, and that name is Isaiah Reyes, but he has completely changed the dynamic here for the Pirates in 2017.
Yeah, well, see, Isaiah came in the conference play nursing a knee injury. He has worked his way back, and he is an absolute difference maker on the floor. You want to talk about a team that runs at about 80 miles an hour, kick that up into high gear in triple digits when Isaiah Reyes hits the floor. He is a fun player to watch, and he's really, really allowed Cordell Hankerson to really come into his own. Cordell was struggling. He was very inconsistent, and now coming into the last few games, he's played very, very well, feeding off of that energy. And Isaiah Reyes, we talked about it during the broadcast, he creates a vacuum type of effect in bringing the defense to where he is, opening up everybody else. Cordell Hankerson, Vida Fennell have been very, very good as of late, and really it's a result of feeding off of the energy that Reyes brings to the table. Yeah,
he's a game changer to be sure, and he seems to only be getting better for the Pirates, who come in having won their last 4 in a row. Two teams atop the Western State North. Playoffs very much on the line here tonight. We will come back with the opening tip here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Stick around.
Whether you're here for business or pleasure, your satisfaction is our top priority. Located just blocks away from the historic downtown Ventura and 20 minutes from the nearby attractions in Santa Barbara, our hotel features 19,000 square feet of space, including Nam Tequila Grill and the Aqua Beachfront Bar. Our rooms feature beautiful views of the ocean and the surrounding foothills. Reservations can be made at www.cpventura.com. Crown Plaza Ventura Beach, the place to meet. With more than 40 years' experience, we strive to provide the very best in real estate and property management services. No matter what your real estate needs are, turn to the realtors who have been serving the Ventura area for over 4 decades. You can find us at www.joecaprealestate.com. And remember, everybody, to join us the weekend of March 9th through the 12th for the men's and women's basketball championship. You can tune in to watch the championship on YouTube or www.socalcollegesports.com. And make sure to follow us also on Twitter at SoCalCollegeSpo. You can also tweet to us during the game if you have any comments or would like to get involved with the show.
Moments away from the opening tip from Cuesta College, Ventura College, and Cuesta here on SoCalCollegeSports.com on the VC Sports Network. Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Cepeda with you. No changes in the starting lineup here for Joey Ramirez and the Ventura College Pirates. It'll be Cowan and Calvin Young in the backcourt. Up front, Hankerson, Fennell, and Trevor LeCount. Give you the lineup for Cuesta momentarily. This is Aguado between the circles. Swings it out to Saunders. They'll work it over to Townsend. Townsend starts a drive on Cowan, kicks it out to Saunders. Back to Aguado, drives the lane, hangs in the air. Meanwhile, stepping through a double team and laying it in.
That's Liam. Joey Liam.
So Liam working his way through a double team.
Well, hey, he was working on the court with us earlier, getting some shots up.
Yeah, we're not quite as dangerous a double team, I don't think. No. Cowan angles left, gets it back to LeCount.
Got to believe you're right.
Second meeting between these two teams. They played a great ball game back on January 18th. Down the wire it went before it was Cuesta that ended up with the 5-point win at 75-70. Since then, the Pirates haven't lost. Cowan with the runner, able to get it to go. Cowan.
That's a tough shot. And it's interesting, Alex Owandier not starting tonight, and I wonder if that's by design. You've seen Isaiah Reyes really be a key contributor coming off the bench, and I wonder if Coach Blair is thinking, I need Owandier to be a factor in the second unit.
That one caroms wide to Hankerson. Off to Cowan. The Pirates looking to run, but the pass offline to Young, stolen by Townsend. It's Aguado and Townsend in the backcourt, and then Saunders up front with Liam and Darren Horn. So Owandier, who had 29 in the first meeting between these two teams, will come off the bench. Horn tracks down the long rebound back to Aguado. Tied at 2 early on, just a couple of minutes in. Happy you've joined us here on a Wednesday night. This should be a good one. Aguado drives the lane, tries to bounce pass down low, tiptoeing the baseline, and the call will keep it here with Cuesta College off of Fennell.
Should have been a steal. Young needs to dip in quicker. That's going the other way.
Saunders will bring it in baseline left. Shot clock at 14. Aguado on the wing, working on Fennell. Actually, this is Horn. Check that. Swings it across to Liam. Liam, with the shot clock winding down, has to force one up. That'll miss everything.
That's just a great defensive possession there, particularly Fennell moving his feet. Didn't really allow Horn anything. Couldn't get a shot up at the basket or anything clean. It's a shot clock violation. We're going the other way. It's pretty good defense to start off here for Ventura. The question is, can they keep it going?
Cuesta coming off a double overtime victory on Saturday over Santa Barbara. They were trailing late. Needed a last-second shot to force overtime. They end up winning it in double overtime to stay in a tie atop the Western State North. Meanwhile, Hankerson off the glass.
You get that two-man game with Hankerson and Fennell going early. Good night early for the Cougars.
4-2. Pirates have come back with 4 straight to take the early lead. Saunders looking down low. Liam working on Hankerson. Spins back right. Off the board, no good. Fennell snaps down the board.
And early on, it's Fennell and Hankerson locked in defensively. Really like to see that for VC. And
Young,
Calvin Young
from long range. So Calvin Young makes it a 7-0 run. The Pirates coming in a very confident team with Reyes back in the fold, winners of 4 straight. But still in a tie atop the Western State North. And Michael, this game's so very important. Should the Pirates fail to win here tonight, they'd be back down a game. They would have lost the season series to Cuesta. We're not exactly sure how the playoff spot will play out if it ends in a tie.
As far as who needs this game more, Cuesta needs this game more. Right now, they are 500 on the season, 12-12, 5-1 in conference. They're still in play for the conference championship, and I believe if you make the conference championship and you have a better than a 500 or better record, you're automatically in.
There's no way they're getting in unless they win. Long rebound to Townsend. Townsend going to work on Cowan. Drives it to the glass. Left-handed layup is good.
That's too easy. Cowan's got to cut him off earlier.
That breaks the 7-0 run. LeCount wide open. He'll lay it in.
Coach Blair not happy about that. Knew the timeout was coming very quick. Probably going to be a 30. Stoy, let's keep it here. Really like what I see early here from the Pirates. They are moving the ball very well. They are executing very well. And Calvin Young, if you can get him going along with Hankerson and Fennell, oh yeah, you got Isaiah Reyes. He had 20-plus last time out. watch out.
Yeah, the only guy who hasn't scored for the Pirates so far is Vita Fennell, who's been outstanding in conference play, and you have to suspect he's going to get his points before it's all said and done. So it's a great sign for the Pirates. They've already had Cowan involved with a hoop. You get LeCount involved with a hoop as well. So getting it from all sources here. And they have the early 5-point lead as the Cougars will try to regroup, working at the length of the court. Saunders will trigger it in. Rusty Blair comes back with Karem Ozell at the control, so Ozell checks in, replacing Aguado. Townsend will fire from 3, rimming no good. Hankerson has the board. Hankerson quickly back the other way, pulls up, thought about a 3, down to LeCount, over to Fennell. Cowan around a Fennell screen. They play the 2-man game. Fennell faces up. Shot clock at 17. Fennell out of a double team. Cowan into the lane. Shovels it to LeCount, who lays it in.
And I've been very impressed with the hands of Trevor LeCount late in the season. Got to have those hands ready. He was the recipient of a good pass and a good finish.
4 in a row for LeCount. Meanwhile, Townsend going to work one-on-one. That one in and out. Fennell hands to Cowan. They want to run. Young is open. Step back 3. Missed everything. Rebound on the floor. Out of play. It's going to stay with the Pirates.
Well, you like to see Calvin Young being a little bit more aggressive. We talked about his numbers midway point through the season. Very good from 3. In fact, he was up over 50%. Those numbers have dropped off considerably. I want to say he's in the 40s, which is still pretty good. But considering how high that clip was earlier in the season, that goes to show you how much he has struggled from beyond the arc.
Wandier checks in for the Cougars. He had 7 threes in the first matchup between these teams en route to a season-high 29. Hankerson has that one stolen by Townsend.
Too much dribbling.
Ozell in from the left. Off to Townsend. Now the Cougars will set up. Ozell missed 5 games earlier in the conference schedule, and that was an unfortunate missed period for Ozell. Before he missed his stretch of games, over the last 4 games, he had averaged 19 a game. Since he's come back, had a tough time getting back into it. He's just 7 of 26 from the field over a 5-game stretch, so he's still working his way back.
Well, we talked about players that miss time. Sometimes they can struggle. The rust factor, obviously an issue, and Ozell trying to work through it. We saw that those troubles plague Isaiah Reyes early in conference play. He's really turned it around.
Yeah, he's been better every game. Still haven't seen him yet tonight.
Only a freshman.
Ozell off to Wandier, guarded closely by Hankerson. You think there's a scouting report there, Michael?
Yeah.
Wandier was about 30 feet away, and Hankerson was right on top of him.
Well, I think right now it's a pride game. Wandier last time out versus Ventura, 29 points. He was 7 of 9 from beyond the arc.
Yep.
11 of 16 from the field. He had himself a game.
Saunders gets it to Ozell. Fresh shot clock for the Cougars, who trail it by 7. Townsend, a drive on Cowan. The runner off the glass, no good. The rebound on the floor. Who is it to belong to? It's going to stay with Cuesta.
Going to stay here. I really like the rebounding early here. Hankerson is bought in.
Well, so far for the Cougars, the offense has been Donovan Townsend. They haven't been able to get much of anything going, and they have 3 other players who average in double figures. Starting with Saunders. Wandier catch and shoot. That's good. So Wandier picks up right where he left off.
Bulgarian assassin, watch out from beyond the arc. We said 7 of 9 last time out versus Ventura. Still continuing the hot shooting.
Cowan behind a LeCount screen. That's short. Saunders high up for the board. Ozell into the front court, guarded by Young. Drives the lane, finds Horn on the baseline. 10-footer is short. Rebound on the floor. LeCount hands off to Cowan. Cowan jets into the front court, no numbers. Down low, Fennell. Double team comes from Saunders. Fennell passes back out. They'll swing it around. LeCount working down low on Saunders. Shot clock at 14.
Spacing
LeCount
just
now,
not there.
They get the mismatch on Townsend. LeCount loses his footing, and it's a travel.
That's just a great job by Townsend, pulling the chair from underneath LeCount. LeCount using a little bit too much of the upper body to gain position, and he just fell flat to the floor to travel.
That'll bring on Ryan Sells to replace LeCount. And Isaiah Reyes checks into the game. So it's Reyes and Young in the backcourt, along with Sells, Hankerson, and Fennell up front. So Coach Joey Ramirez goes a little bit smaller here with his lineup.
Goes a little smaller and kicks it into high gear. Expect the tempo to pick up.
So it's Ozell and Townsend in the backcourt, Saunders, Horn, and Wandier up front. So it's a much bigger lineup for Rusty Blair and the Cuesta College Cougars. Townsend, checked by Reyes, around a Horn screen, comes up shooting from 16, back iron, no good. Rebound on the floor, tipped out of bounds. The Pirates will have it back.
It's good defense by Reyes. Made it a tough shot for Townsend. He's off the mark. Just barely, though, right off the back iron. How about a shout out to Wander Rubet? Back in New Jersey or in the New Jersey area.
That's what we love about what we do. You can watch us anywhere in the world.
And who is Wanda? That would be Isaiah's mom.
The three from Hankerson rattles out. Horn has the rebound. Pirates, after a hot start, have cooled off.
Carry.
Ozell, hard drive, forces one up. No good, but a foul called. Karem Ozell will go to the line.
Where's the carry? Can we cue up the replay? Bring it back. Bring it back. Watch the carry. Keeps the ball on his hip, and from left to right, he gets a foul called in his favor. But
Well, he took full advantage of the missed call, if it was there. Give Karem some credit.
I think Coach Ramirez is talking about it right now.
So Ozell heads to the line where he shoots 67%. That free throw is up and good.
How about a shout out to Will Cowan? It's about 10 feet in front of us.
Yeah, we don't really have to shout very far, I think, to get Will. He's got the tablet ready. Oh, he'll be tweeting. But he's got to function here. I mean, on the road and stuff. He's got to give the updates. Reyes spins off the glass, no good, foul called. So Isaiah goes right to work.
Yeah, go right at Ozell. That's just a great individual effort there by Reyes. Realizes the speed mismatch, and I tell you what, there are not a lot of people that can match up with him speed-wise.
Averages 14.5 a game. The first free throw is good. As we talked about at the top, Reyes missed the first meeting between these two teams. And it's very much a different Pirate team with Reyes in the lineup.
Well, just in terms of depth, and then when he's on the floor, you don't have that lull in the second unit. Takes a lot of the pressure from a scoring standpoint off everybody else. And not only that, everybody else feeds off of his energy.
Wandier step back three. That's good.
Man,
he is unconscious.
he's a baller, man. Look at that move.
Well, I mean, he is human. You look at their last game. He plays 18 minutes. He's 3 of 9 from the field. Reyes, foul called. He'll head to the line.
That's a good call. Ozell comes underneath, and that is 2 quick ones on Ozell. He's going to have to come out. Here comes Townsend back in.
Just to finish the point on Wandier, he had just, 3 of 9 in their last game, coming off the bench with 7 points. But he just seems like a completely different player from what we've seen when he gets the Pirates in front of him.
Yeah. Maybe he's like a bull who likes the color red.
Yeah, he does.
And instead of red, it's orange that sets him off.
He does average 13-3 a game, so he is the leading scorer on the team, along with Aguado, Townsend, Ozell, all average in double figures.
Well, I mean, he shoots almost 5 from deep per game, and he hits at a pretty high clip, 43%. Product of Bulgaria. European-style players usually have pretty good shooting ability. Reyes readies the first free throw, or second free throw, rather. That's good. Coach Blair does not like the call, pleading his case with the officials.
Well, there's one thing that Reyes does. It's get to the line. He'll have 3 here.
Well, it's such a luxury to have a player that can put the defense on their heels, especially from the point guard position.
I mean, 6.4 free throw attempts per game, and that's coming off the bench. That's more than 2 higher than anybody else on the Pirates.
And
the Pirates have a couple of guys who can get to the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you get those kind of looks at the free throw line, that's easy money. That usually opens you up from the field.
Saunders.
Great defense himself.
Kicks it out to Wandier, guarded closely by Sells. Step back, he'll fire from 3 again. That's good.
That's insane. Please show the replay. That's insane.
I mean, you can't defend it any better than Ryan Sells is defending that play.
Up in his grill. Look at this move.
Reyes, meanwhile, loses the handle. Townsend can't come up with it. Hankerson's got it back, and a foul called. That's going to be on Wandier. And at this point, if you're the Pirates, you would like nothing more than to maybe get Wandier in some foul trouble and get him off the floor. There doesn't appear to be any other answer.
Is that 3 threes?
3 threes.
He's got 9.
Did not start the game.
Unbelievable. Well, we talked about how crucial that could be, and the factor that could play having him come off of the bench with Reyes coming off the bench and him being such a key contributor offensively for the Pirates.
Fennell holding right of the key, off to Reyes, dancing on the dribble, starts a drive, lays it in.
Townsend cannot guard him, and Reyes knows it.
I got to ask you, Michael, who can? Aguado, a hard drive, comes up shooting on the baseline. That's good. Aguado hits the fadeaway. It's up and down now. Sells in from the left. Might have got away with a little push off there on Wandier. Fennell still scoreless in the game, checked by Horn. Starts a drive. Can't get that one to go. Wandier snaps down the rebound. 3-point game.
Some contact there. I'm surprised Fennell didn't get the call.
Aguado will fire from 3, in and out. Fennell with the rebound. Reyes into the front court.
Oh.
Spins into the lane, hangs in the air. Good and one.
Stud. Absolute stud.
Well, you get a feeling what's starting to develop here, Michael, and that is a duel potentially between Reyes and Wandier. That's what's been the case here early on.
As we see the spin move here in the lane. Man, Reyes putting on a show here, presumably with Mama watching.
Yeah, he's certainly got someone to play for.
I think he's in double digits currently. Either that or he has 9.
I think it's 10. I think you're right, Michael. Aguado around to Saunders' screen, off to Townsend in the weave. Townsend checked by Sells. Fakes, finds Aguado. Aguado drives left, comes up shooting from 17. That's good. Andres Aguado starting to feel it.
Look, the Cougars can flat shoot the basketball. You better stay up on them. No room allowed.
Aguado in the first meeting between these teams held to just 9 points, but he averages in double figures on the season. Reyes off to Young. Young, a standing dribble, wide right. Reyes gets a Fennell screen, picked up by Horn in a switch. Fennell down low to Townsend. Reyes step back. He'll shoot from long range. That's short. Fennell has the offensive rebound. Back out to Reyes.
And Reyes goes into floor general mode. He will reset, get it, looking for a screen from Hankerson. Has plenty of room from 3. Hankerson gets it back on the perimeter. Quick move, layup, no good, but it's a foul. It's a great first step explosion from Cordell Hankerson.
Yeah, Hankerson back in the starting lineup tonight after coming off the bench against Allen Hancock to still lead the Pirates with 23 points. But
first free throw up and good for Hank.
I think you have to be impressed so far with Hankerson getting the start tonight, and I think the defense has been a lot more solid.
Yeah, he's been locked in, and you have to appreciate a player making the commitment defensively and on the boards. Townsend guarded by Reyes. Wandier into the lane, and he's talking some junk to Cordell Hankerson. This might become a one-on-one battle here, and you have to be careful in terms of continuity offensively for the Pirates if that happens.
Yeah, I think if you're Hankerson.
Jump ball.
Nice job by Horn coming over.
That's a great job by Horn. I thought Horn brought his hand down, but he got all ball up top. Arrow's going to stay here with the Pirates baseline out of bounds. (23-19). Ventura with a 4-point lead and Wandier with 11. That's Joey Ramirez setting up a play. Box play out of bounds. So wipe off the floor. Pretty fast pace so far, Jeffrey.
Interesting, Michael, that Fennell has no points in the game, but Pirates still have the early lead.
Going to enter it into Sells at the high post. We got it by Saunders. Pretty good job by him denying it. Hankerson, hesitation move. Wandier with a block. It'll stay with the Pirates.
Starting to do it all, Michael.
And Wandier and Hankerson are really going at it right now.
Well, I think you made a good point, though, a moment ago, Michael. I think Hankerson needs to stay away from that mindset. The Pirates right now really gelling offensively as a team. You don't want to get away from sharing the basketball.
Here's a handoff to Hankerson. 2 on the shot clock from 3, and Hankerson buries it from downtown. Up to a 7-point lead now for the Pirates.
That equals their largest, and, well, I guess if you can shoot like that, there's no problem, but.
Got to believe you're right. Hankerson on Wandier. Wandier thinking about it from 30 feet. Crossover dribble. Gets back to his left. Gives off. It's a pretty good pass. Tough shot.
Great
no good
rotation.
by Horn. Saunders, check that. That's Cowan working against Sells. Sells has it get tapped out of bounds. It's going to go off of Saunders, and it'll go back to the Pirates.
That's a great rotation by Cowan off of the pass from Wandier to get in there and bother that shot from Horn.
And we've talked about the lineup now with Reyes getting back into the fray, coming off of the bench, but now you bring Cowan in either off the ball or on the ball. So you have a 2-guard setup. You have Hankerson, Fennell, and Sells out there. And defensively, it's nice to have a guy like Sells that can check a guy like Wandier. He made a very tough shot, did Wandier earlier over Sells, but it was fantastic defense. Sells does a great job moving his feet. A lot of what he does you don't see in a box score.
No, and it's important when Hankerson's so important to your team offensively. You
Cowan.
don't want him wearing himself out defensively.
Cowan going to bring it in. Spacing just not there right now for the Pirates. Reyes with it on the far side. Going to get a screen from Fennell. Reyes, hesitation into the lane. Left-handed layup. That's money.
Well, it's just miscommunication on defense there between Townsend and
Every
Horn.
day of the week. As it's a chant from Isaiah Reyes. Let's go. 28-19. The Pirates with a 9-point lead. 8:23 to go in the first half. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. It's 28-19. Wandier, who didn't start the game with 11. Where would the Cougars be if Wandier isn't on fire right now?
Meanwhile, the Pirates picking up right where they left off. In the last 4 games, the Pirates have averaged 85 points a game since Reyes returned. In the previous 6 without Reyes, they averaged 69 a game. So it's a whole different team.
Absolutely. Townsend with it, working on Cowan. Drives the baseline, gets a travel. Shuffled his feet, trying to get position. I wonder what the turnover number is in terms of the margin. Right now, Cuesta struggling offensively, trying to get anything going outside of Wandier.
Well, Mike, I think they need to get something going to the basket. They're becoming a little too reliant on the outside shot.
That's a great call. That's a great split of the double team there by Cowan. Can't get it up in the ring. Gives out to Fennell. Fennell with a bank shot. Tips up his miss. It's missed, and it's out of bounds. Going to stay here with the Pirates, I believe. No, they'll say it went off to Cowan. I thought Wandier tapped that out of bounds, but it will say that the Cougars will have possession.
I think the Cougars' length inside is really bothering Vita Fennell right now. He had a pretty good look there, but I think in particular Darren Horn's length is really giving Fennell some problems.
I'd like to see Fennell just rise up and dunk it on somebody because I know that he can.
Maybe he's just a big John Wooden fan. Just doesn't like the dunk.
Well, if you're going to learn from anybody, John Wooden, pretty good source. Guado with him, gets a screen from Saunders. Saunders looking to post up down low. He has Reyes on him. 6'7" versus 5'11".
It's a good double team.
And Hankerson with the steal in transition. 2-on-2 with numbers. Hankerson thought about the spin move. Instead, is going to kick it back out to Reyes. And that's a good decision by Cordell Hankerson.
Meanwhile, Nick Gapsch has checked into the game for the first time for the Cougars.
Reyes, quick step to his right. That's good. Isaiah Reyes on fire here in the first half.
He's just getting better every game, Michael.
30-19. The freshman feeling it here at Cuesta. That's a foul on Saunders, and that's all in part due to the hard work working through the screen by Isaiah Reyes, doing it on both ends.
That pull-up shot is going to be so key for him when you think about it, because he's obviously shown the ability to drive all the way to the glass, but it's another one of those moves. How are you going to defend that move with his speed? If he can pull up, he's going to get a good look every time that he goes to that move.
And it's very important for him to keep that knee healthy and do what you can from a rehab standpoint, because you need the stability in that joint. That's a great entry pass as Fennell gets fouled. No, they're going to say he traveled. Well, he didn't have possession of the ball. How is that a travel?
That's a big call, too, because Wandier came in with the block, and if Wandier had picked up that foul, that would have been number 2, I believe. But it would have, in all likelihood, sent him to the bench for the rest of the first half.
6:53 to go in the first, 30-19. Cuesta in a hole right now. Aguado with the ball on the baseline, looking for Saunders. He's guarded by Reyes. Aguado picks up his dribble. It'll look like Wandier got away with a push out there. Still with it, gives off. Ozell, 9 on the shot clock, through the legs. This is Horn out front. Horn, Aguado from 3. Yes, sir.
Well, there's an advantage there. Aguado's got a couple of inches on Reyes. He's a terrific shooter, and I don't know that Reyes can really take that shot away from him.
Aguado from Spain. They like to shoot it out there, that's for sure. Well, unless your name's Ricky Rubio. Reyes.
That's good help from Ozell.
That's great help from Ozell. Cowan still with the ball for the Pirates. He backs up. He's going to fire from 15. Can't get the bounce. Rebounded by Wandier. Off to Ozell in transition. Delayed break. Hesitation move off to Saunders, and it looks like he stepped on the baseline. Ozell just out of control, unaware of where he's at, and it's another turnover for the Cougars.
Mike, this is a very important stretch in this ball game for the Pirates. They're leading by 8 right now. They have the advantage. If they press it right here and go on another run, they could go up well into double digits, really take command of this game. If they let the focus slip a little bit, Cougars could get right back. You could go into halftime tied.
Hankerson from 3. That one rims out. Horn battles for the rebound, and this is going to be out of bounds off of Fennell. How about a shout out to Kayla Turner. Buddy of mine, John Turner, JT, as KT watching the game. Wanted me to send a shout out, so.
You got friends all over the world, it seems, watching the game. Very popular guy.
I'm well traveled throughout California anyway. JT, a family friend.
Part of the evolution of the Pirates as a team, as they continue to get better, you have to press the advantages that you have.
I tell you what you and JT have in common? You guys set stud screens. Hankerson pokes it away.
I really have the wrong body type for the type of basketball I like to play.
JT does not.
It's sad.
He's a brick wall. No offense. Ozell, behind the back dribble, gives off to Horn. Horn's going to fire from 23 NBA range. Misses almost everything, barely hit the backboard, but it rims off. Ozell with a rebound. And the Cougars with another possession.
Long shots can produce long rebounds.
It looks like he launched it at the backboard instead of that actually being a shot. Aguado with it, working on Cowan. Step back jumper is short, rebounded by Cowan. Off to Reyes. Reyes, spin move. Wandier trying to pick up the foul. That's a travel.
That's a great job. Aguado right there, moving his feet. Just gets in Reyes' way, and as Reyes tries to reverse direction, too many steps. I know you're proud of that defense there by Aguado, because you talk about moving the feet. Don't get lazy on defense. He moves his feet and produces that turnover.
It's all about moving your feet. That's what it's about. When you don't, then you pay the price. Ozell, crossover dribble on Cowan, gives out to Aguado, looking for Horn down low. Horn gets it, guarded by Fennell. Fennell very good at moving his feet and staying straight up, and forces Horn to pick up his dribble and give off to Aguado. Aguado into the lane, left-handed layup. No good. He was bothered by Cowan. Sells in transition. Sells up at the rim, up and under move. The layup is good. It's a double-digit lead for the Pirates, 32-22. Full timeout taken by Coach Joey Ramirez. 4:28 to go in the first half. You're watching 3C2A men's basketball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 32-22, 4:28 to go in the first half, and the Pirates looking like a title contender here in 2017.
How do you like it if you get no points from one of your leading scorers on the season in Vita Fennell and you're still up 10 on the road against the team that you're tied against whom you're tied for first place?
Yeah. And speaking of lead players that aren't playing very well, I wouldn't say Vita Fennell's not playing well, but he's definitely has not had a very good effect in the box score. Noah Saunders, a no-show here so far for the Cougars. In fact, the only thing that I remember him doing was winning the opening tip. Haven't heard his name really called since.
Yeah, coming off a performance in which he scored 19, came down with 10 rebounds.
Step back jumper, Owandiye, great box out by Fennell on Horn. Rebounded by Reyes. Transition the other way. Reyes beats the pack. Nobody can stop him. He lays it up and lays it in. He's approaching 20 on the night. We're only in the first.
Ozell there trying to get in his way, but Reyes just too quick.
Trying to enter it into Saunders, and the defensive effort has been fantastic tonight against Saunders. Point of emphasis for sure. I mean, Owandiye has been fantastic in terms of individual effort and making shots that are hotly contested. The defense before the ball even gets entered into Saunders has been very impressive from a team standpoint for the Pirates so far.
Yeah, that's Cowan working down low against Saunders, giving away about 5 or 6 inches.
But the quick doubles there and the spacing not there for the Cougars. Great up and under. Horn going to be whistled for the foul. Fennell going to the stripe. And one thing you want to do if you're not going yet to get going is get to the line, and Vita Fennell has 2 coming his way right now.
Long stretch here for Eric Horn in the first half for Cuesta, and maybe getting a little bit tired. Remember, double overtime. Their starters, all 5 starters, over 35 minutes in their last game.
First free throw good by Fennell. Second one silky smooth, nothing but net. 3:21 to go. It's a 12-point lead for the Pirates. Zell will bring it up for Cuesta. Gets a screen from Saunders. Saunders trying to get going here. They switch off. Zell's working on Ozell. That's a great turnaround there. Off to Horn from 3. That's good. Eric Horn, 6'6" freshman from Los Gatos. Hits from deep. Cowan to the rack. Layup no good. Falls off the rim. Rebounded by Saunders. 3-on-2. Saunders working against Hankerson. That is great feet from Cordell Hankerson yet again. And he stops the break. The Cougars still with the ball. Under 20 to go on the shot clock. Aguado switched off on by Hankerson. Has to bring it back out. The defense is just stellar here tonight so far for Ventura. Locked in defensively. Aguado now with it. Drives the lane. Pulls up. Nothing there. Rebound to Fennell, gives off to Reyes. Reyes working the hesitation move, goes baseline, nothing there, gives off to Fennell. Fennell, great spin move in the middle. Oh, just can't get it to go. He's on the doorstep. Another couple free throws coming to Vita Fennell. First free throw. Again, silky smooth. Back to a double-digit lead with a made free throw. Second free throw good. It's an 11-point lead. 38-27, 2:06 to go. Here in the first half. Ozell with it on the far side. Gives off to Townsend. Townsend looking for Wandier. Can't get it to him. Gilroy, first time we've seen him here tonight. And Saunders traveled on the perimeter. And Jeff, the defense on the perimeter, especially against Noah Saunders, continues to impress for Ventura.
Yeah, give the Pirates a lot of credit here. This was a team in Cuesta that shot very well in the first meeting between these two teams. And they've adjusted here, making them put it on the floor to a much greater degree.
Cowan gets a screen from Hankerson. Hankerson, a lot of room there. Late closeout from Wandier. And the ball comes off, ricochets, and finally finds itself in the hands of Cordell Hankerson, but he's out of bounds.
Looked like Saunders reaching in there, getting a hand in and poking that ball out.
Pretty good job by Hankerson using his first step explosion after it was a lazy closeout from Wandier.
Yeah, Ryan Gilroy, Davey Wick have checked in, so Coach Rusty Blair going deeper into his bench.
Wandier working on Hankerson very closely. That's a great denial. Forces Townsend to go back the other way. They want to get it to Wandier. They enter into Saunders. Saunders, quick double team from Sells. Townsend got away with a tremble, brings it back out to Wandier. Wandier drives the lane, up and under move, left-handed layup, no good. Tapped around, fought for and won by Ventura. Here's Cowan with a rebound. I'll slow it down, coming up on the 1 minute mark. Reyes into the lane. That shot blocked emphatically out of bounds by Saunders. 18 on the shot clock.
Saunders cheating over, and of course that's going to happen with a guy like Reyes in the game, but that's where you need some cutters to the basket and give Reyes a couple of options.
Absolutely, that's a great point, Stoy. They enter into Sells. Here's Cowan off to Hankerson, working one-on-one against Saunders. Entering at the high post to Fennell. Two-man game, no. Fennell going to pull up. That's easy money. That's just great recognition from Fennell.
And Gilroy's going to have a very difficult time defending that shot, giving away a couple inches to a guy who can shoot the ball like Fennell can.
And Fennell deceptively fast with that first step once he gets somebody in the air. Wandier working on Cowan. Watch the step back here. No, he drives the lane. Great double team from Sells on the weak side. Off to Saunders. Saunders, shot is blocked up top. That's all ball. Wow. Can I see the replay, please? Let's see if we have it on this camera here. Man, that's tough. Bring it all the way back. Let's watch his shot here. Where's the foul? Nothing but ball.
Send Saunders to the line. Big turnaround. Saunders shoots 70% from the line. First points tonight if our numbers, which are unofficial, are right if memory serves. But either way, it's been a quiet first half for Saunders, who averages over 12 a game.
Hey, as far as numbers goes, you have some credibility. It's me bringing up the rear. 40-28. Maybe a bit of a mercy call there for Cuesta.
Well,
Frank will check into the ball game. Sells comes off.
Pirates here can play for the last shot after the free throws by Saunders. So first half is going to be mission accomplished. But, you know, Mike, it can get very dangerous in a hurry here. And I made the point a few minutes ago. The Pirates been up about 8 to 10 points throughout this first half, but really needed to go on that run to make it 18, 20 points, really salt this one away.
Everybody can shoot from three on the floor right now for Ventura. Look for Reyes to drive the lane and kick out. Looking for a high screen here from Hankerson. Drives the lane, looking to kick out. Instead, he enters in. It's a turnover for Reyes. Townsend back the other way. One on the shot clock, blocked out of bounds. Up top, Hankerson going to get whistled for a tee. That's two personal fouls going to go against Hankerson on that play alone. You just can't have it. He was doing so well.
That's potentially a very big call here, Michael. You're talking about 4 free throws. We might be looking at a 7-point game here heading into halftime. And the way the Pirates have played in the first half, that's a disappointing result in the first half.
And you have to get refocused. You have to get your composure back. Not only if you're Cordell Hankerson, but the entire Ventura College squad.
And you think about Hankerson and his basketball career and going on. If you're the type of player that players know they can get in your head and get an emotional response to you, I think back to Reggie Miller and the way he would play against a guy like John Starks, and, of course, all the famous stories with that.
Yeah.
But it's only going to continue if guys know that they can get you out of your game by talking to you.
Well, they've been chirping in the ear of Hankerson. Wandier, I saw him chirping in the ear after a made three with Hankerson right in his grill. And you know what? You expect a little trash talk to get there, but with a guy like Hankerson, that was a clean block up top. There was some body, but I thought the contact was initiated by the Cuesta College player in Townsend. And Townsend gets a call in his favor.
Yeah,
I think back-to-back very sketchy calls defensively go against the Pirates, and they don't handle the adversity very well. It's a missed last free throw. We go in at the half, 40-32. It was all Pirates, but Cuesta hanging in there. Second half going to be interesting when we come back. Back in a moment here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Remember, everybody, you can follow us on Twitter at SoCal College SPO. And go to our YouTube channel. If you have an Xbox One or an Apple TV, you have a YouTube-enabled device, SoCal College Sports 1. That's our channel. Subscribe. You can catch all of our coverage this season and beyond. And go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. And remember, we will have coverage of the 3C2A men's and women's basketball championships from Las Positas, March 9th through the 12th. Should be very good in terms of coverage. 8 teams for both the men and the women going out there this year versus the Final Four format that we've seen in the last 3 years. They have opened up the field. So this is a team where you think about Ventura, who's really starting to come on here late in the season, possibly making a deep run in the postseason. You only need to win 2 to make it up there.
Whether you're here for business or pleasure, your satisfaction is our top priority. Located just blocks away from historic downtown Ventura and 20 minutes from the nearby attractions in Santa Barbara, our hotel features 19,000 square feet of space, including the Nam Tequila Grill and the Aqua Beachfront Bar. Our rooms feature beautiful views of the ocean and the surrounding foothills. Reservations can be made at www.cpventura.com. With more than 40 years' experience, we strive to provide the very best in real estate and property management services. No matter what your real estate needs are, turn to the realtors who have been serving the Ventura area for over 4 decades. You can find us at www.joecaprealestate.com. And be sure to watch us the weekend of March 9th through the 12th as we bring you the 3C2A Men's and Women's Basketball Championship at Las Positas College. You can watch the game at www.socalcollegesports.com or on YouTube by searching for SoCal College Sports 1. And be sure to follow us on Twitter as well at SoCal College SPO.
40-32 at the half. The Pirates with the 8-point lead. But, Michael, I think it's safe to say that for the Pirates, it could have been more.
I thought they missed out on a lot there at the end of the first half. But you know what? They have a couple calls not go their way. They didn't stay composed. And they've done such a great job. This is the best I've seen them this year. They are absolutely locked in. This is a game that Cuesta needs to have a chance at getting in the playoffs. They don't win. They don't win the conference very likely. You know, I don't know with their record right now being 500. Should they lose tonight, they go to 12-13 on the season. They'd have to win out. They already lost one versus Allen Hancock early in the season. Just really, really tough.
Yeah, for the Pirates, opportunities abound here, but certainly for Cuesta, it's a last chance here, certainly in this season, as if they lose this one, would drop to 12-13 and out of first place here in the Western State North. Wandier at the top of the key. Starts a drive, has that one poked away. Aguado trying to keep it alive, but Young's on the floor. It'll be a jump ball. So we've lost our overhead shot here. We'll go with a little closer to the floor. In the meantime, get that sorted out for you as we're underway here in the second half. The Pirates force the jump ball, so they have it back with an 8-point lead. Cowan signaling for a play, guarded closely by Townsend, starts a drive, hooks a pass to Fennell, fans it out. Hankerson back to Cowan, they'll swing it around. Young for 3, back iron, long rebound on the floor, Liam has it. So the Cougars come back looking to cut into this 8-point deficit. Around a Saunders screen. Aguado drops it to Saunders, spins baseline, and an offensive foul. So they'll catch Saunders for the hook. Couple of opportunities for the Cougars early in the second half, but the score remains 40-32. Pirates led by as many as 11 in the first half. They work it around the outside. Cowan on the baseline to Fennell. Shot clock at 15. Hankerson fakes, finds Cowan. Terrific feed to LeCount. They'll wave that off. It's a foul before the shot. It'll go against Liam. That is the second foul here in the first half, or in the second half, I should say, on Cuesta. New shot clock for the Pirates. Young feeds it to Fennell down low. Quick double team. They'll work it back out. Cowan directing traffic. Gets a screen from LeCount. Splits a double team to the glass. High off the glass. No good. Tip, no. LeCount's got his hands on it, and he has the rebound. Hankerson into Fennell. Fennell turns around on Wandier. Back out to Cowan. Another shot clock. Hankerson 4-3. Rimming, no good. Fennell tries to tap it up, no good. Liam has the rebound. Aguado angling into the lane, back to his left, puts up the shot and scores. So Aguado, with the soft touch, gets the roll. Those are the first points of the second half. Meanwhile, the Cougars have crept back within 6 in a game that the Pirates have really dominated. Hankerson hooks it to Young. They swing it around to Cowan. Shot clock down to 13. Young off to Hankerson, guarded by Liam. They work it down low to Fennell. 10-footer is good. Fennell with his first points, and they come in the second half. Pushes the lead back out to 8. Both teams decidedly more patient than the first time these two teams met. Townsend around a screen from Saunders. Liam with a long 3. Rimming, no good. Rebound to Saunders, up on the glass, no good. Hankerson snaps down the board. Fennell running the floor, lays it in. Vita Fennell starting to warm it up. He's got 4 in a row. Back to a 10-point cushion for the Pirates. Townsend stops, drops it down low to Saunders. Left-handed layup is blocked by Fennell, but a foul will call. So Fennell gets over for the rejection on Saunders, but gets him with the body. Saunders will head to the line. He also has had a quiet night, just 2 points. Saunders, a 70% foul shooter, is going to clean up the floor. Leading scorers in the first half, Isaiah Reyes with 14 off the bench for the Pirates. The Cougars were led by Alex Wandier, who had 10. Saunders' first free throw is good. Similar to the first meeting between these two teams. The Cougars' ability to knock down free throws consistently really keeping them in this game. They've been outstanding from the line. Saunders' free throw rims up. Boy, my jinxing is still top-notch, evidently. 9-point lead for the Pirates, LeCount. They'll work it around the outside. Young tries to skip pass but throws it out of bounds. Meanwhile, we have a Cougar player down on the floor, falling awkwardly. I believe it was Andres Aguado. They're going to help him to his feet, and he's going to have to come off the floor, certainly.
He's sporting a knee brace. You wonder if it's maybe the knee or an ankle.
Well, it was one of those non-contact. It looked like he fell awkwardly. And he will hobble off under his own power, but
a lot of wet spots out here. So they cleaned it up on the floor, but you just hope that he's okay. Very effective.
So that'll bring Karem Ozell into the game. So it'll be Ozell and Townsend with Wandier, Saunders, and Liam up front for the Cougars. Meanwhile, the Pirates counter with Cowan and Young in the backcourt, Hankerson, Fennell, and LeCount up front. 9-point game, 16:34 and counting remaining in the ballgame.
9 points.
Pirates have had the lead throughout, but they haven't quite been able to shake this Cougar squad. Saunders drives it on Cowan, hangs in the air. They're going to wave off the shot. The foul came before. So Cowan will pick up the foul.
I think Saunders got a talking to at halftime. Sense of urgency seems to be a little bit better. And you saw it transitioning towards the proper direction for him at the end of the first half. His energy levels really picked up.
Well, I'll tell you this much from watching this team all season. Cowan is a terrific off-the-ball defender.
Yeah.
But you see there, they put Saunders, they give him the ball, clear out. I don't think Cowan can really stop him if he drives off the dribble.
I agree.
With his height advantage. Wandier driving on Hankerson, that's a travel.
Great
Late
defense
whistle.
again.
Late whistle, but I think they got the call right.
Hankerson bought in. He's a D1 talent, Jeff.
Eric Horn will replace Alex Wandier. The Pirates will work at the length of the floor with a 9-point lead. Cowan jogs it up, gets it back from Young. That entry pass knocked away. He wanted Hankerson. It's a 2-on-2. If the Cougars hurry, Ozell all the way to the glass. Missed the layup. Saunders high up has the rebound. The ball's on the floor. There's a scrum for it. No call yet. Here comes a whistle, and it's going to go back to the Pirates.
It looks like it went off of Saunders. Again, another slip in the area where Aguado fell, and you wonder maybe if there's a wet spot there. Nobody's seeing. Could there be a drip in the roof possibly? I was told by SID, Sports Information Director here at Cuesta, Pete Schuler, that they have had rain now. Now, it's not raining today, but I haven't been outside in the last hour.
Well, it's good news we're watching Andres Aguado working on that leg, doing a little bit of jogging, running in place, and certainly appears to be in much better shape that time around. So, of course, that's unofficial, but encouraging sign that he's up on his feet and running around. And we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, they towel off the floor once again. So, to your point, Michael, yeah, having trouble keeping the floor dry. Well, we were out there taking some shots there, Michael, and we worked up a sweat.
Yeah, we did, but I don't think we sweat all over the floor. Not that much.
I'd hate to think that any of that was us. I don't think it was, but hey, it's a lot of work for me just to get a shot up on the rim. Low-scoring second half so far. Pirates went into the locker room with an 8-point lead. They now lead it by 9. Cowan, checked by Townsend, swings it across to Young. Skip pass back to Cowan. Hankerson up top. He'll fire from 3. Splash.
And he holds the form Pretty looking shot there from up top. Good recognition by Hankerson.
Cordell had 23 in the victory over Allen Hancock on Saturday. Give and go with Saunders, hangs in the air and gets the finish.
And Saunders thought about going above the rim, and Fennell did a pretty good job of going straight up, but he finishes another slip on
Young
the baseline.
goes down, loses it out of bounds. That's going to go back to Cuesta.
And you have to wonder what kind of issues they're having on the floor. This is a very slippery floor that we're seeing right here. Andres Aguado with a slip earlier, maybe re-injured or re-aggravated a knee injury. We saw Hankerson at the top of the key. Now Young on the baseline trying to make a move.
Tell you, take a look at LeCount and Young wearing low-top shoes as well. Not a lot of support. Townsend dancing on the dribble.
Probably not the most advisable, considering the floor especially.
Townsend around to Saunders' screen, quickly double team, back out to Horn. He'll fire from 3. That's good.
Got to get there earlier. We saw him bury one from outside in the first half.
Horn averages just 2.5 a game, but he's got a couple of threes here tonight. Horn, or I should say Cowan, off to Hankerson. Works around the screen, picks it up, kicks it out to Young, fakes the 3, drives the lane, fans it out to Cowan. Shot clock down to 11 as Cowan starts to drive on Liam. Out to LeCount.
Good pass.
Off to Hankerson. Hankerson circles left, shoots from 15. That's short. Ozell has the rebound. Head up as he jets into the front court. Hard drive on Young. Puts up the shot off the glass. No good, and Hankerson snaps down the rebound.
Good job by a Pirate defender. This time it's Young.
Hankerson catch and shoot. That one no good.
I get back to my last point there. Calvin Young, great job moving his feet. No foul called.
Liam finds Ozell. He'll fire from 3. No good. Rebound back tapped. Ozell's got it. The Cougars have another chance. Liam will try from long range. That's good. Cougars starting to heat up. They're back within 4.
Well, they shoot 34% plus from 3 as a team. And if you look at their main contributors that are in double digits on the season, Wandier, Saunders, they're almost 40% plus.
LeCount, terrific backdoor cut. And Hankerson hammered. He's going to head to the line for free throws. LeCount with a good feed to Hankerson.
Very important right now for Ventura to get composed back in the half court defensively and take good shots on offense. See that time, a beautiful come from Hankerson. Good find. He's at the line right now. Trying to stop the bleeding here for the Pirates.
Hankerson averaging 17.8 a game. He's an 81% foul shooter.
Well, you were a little late on the jinx.
But you missed. I had a really good one before. It was very impressive.
A delayed jinx, if you will.
I mean, it was a Stoyanov special. I'm just sitting there talking about how great they've been from the line, and just like that. So Hankerson 1 out of 2.
Missed 1 or 2?
He just missed the second one. 5-point lead for the Pirates as Townsend directs traffic out front. Reyes has checked in for the Pirates. Townsend with a hard drive, stops and pops off the glass. No good. Fennell rips down the rebound. Reyes, head up, pass ahead to Sells, reverse layup, no good.
Got to have it.
Cougars trying to pick it up. Townsend and a whistle comes in.
He just fell down. Wow.
That's a big call right there as Townsend's a little slow to get up because it was a 2-on-0 going back the other way for the Pirates. Meanwhile, Townsend getting up gingerly. Tell you something. We don't call hockey here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, but it's getting a little slick out there. Aguado, meanwhile, returns to the game, replacing Townsend. So there's a move of a little bit of irony for the Cougars as Aguado went down awkwardly, but he returns to replace Townsend, who just went down awkwardly.
Maybe they should start wearing ice skates out there.
Well, I don't know, Mike. How do you feel about your hockey call? You ready to call it?
You know
your terminology?
Probably not so much. I was probably better as a kid than I am now. I don't watch too much hockey anymore.
No offense.
Yeah.
So again, they'll towel off the floor. Cougars have trailed by as many as 13 in this game. Now trail it by 5, and they're hanging around. It's getting to be nervous time, I think, if you're the Ventura College Pirates in this one. A lot of opportunities to take command. And now you got the Cougars playing at home, growing in confidence, maybe getting into a little bit of a rhythm offensively.
Well, if anything right now, this stoppage in play helps Ventura try to compose themselves defensively. They have been a little bit out of sorts in terms of their rotations, which were so good in the first half. It's fallen off here.
Again, the high screen from Saunders. Ozell finds Horn. Skip pass back to Ozell. 4-3, no good. Rebound fought for. Liam crashes the boards and picks up the foul call.
Good physical play there. The proper call. Hankerson was fouled by Liam.
That is the second foul on Liam. It's the fourth foul as a team on Cuesta.
If you're Sells on that last defensive possession, though, you get away with one there because you can't get sucked into the middle of the lane like that with the shooters.
And I believe they've gone to a zone defense here, have the Cougars.
2-3.
Fennell working in the lane. Hook shot is good.
And you can play a 2-3 zone all you want, but if you don't have active hands and you let the offensive team enter in at the high post that easy, it's going to be very moot.
Saunders working on Reyes. Back out to Aguado. 4-3, in and out. Rebound back tap. Saunders got it. He'll try from 3. That's no good. Rebound to Ozell. He lays it in.
3 opportunities for Ventura. Where's the rebounding?
Too easy for Ozell. Back to a 5-point game. Reyes kicks it out. Hankerson will try from long range. Back iron. Rebound to Aguado. Ozell into the front court. Hard drive. Finds Liam.
Good hands.
Poked away. Fennell has the steal. Reyes into the front court. Drives the lane. Hangs in the air. Scoop shot is good.
Contact and where's the foul call?
Reyes, who had 14 in the first half, his first 2 of the second half, but it gives the Pirates a 7-point lead. 11:53 remaining in the ball game. Ventura on top of Cuesta here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Remember, everybody, you can follow us on social media at SoCal College SPO, on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. Subscribe to our channel. You will be notified via email. We'll let you know when we're streaming live. You can go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Catch us on the go. You can watch us on a mobile device, a tablet PC, or a smartphone. Catch us on the web browser. We are also streaming live on the VC Sports Network.
Cuesta will work at the length of the floor. 11:53 remaining in the ballgame. Saunders will trigger it into Aguado.
Jeff had a conversation earlier with Darren French, assistant coach at ELAC, East Los Angeles College, and they have a win over Cuesta earlier this season. What were a couple notes that he mentioned? A very gritty team, and they shoot the 3 very well, and we've seen that here.
Saunders from 16 missed everything. Rebound on the floor, but Saunders tracks it down. Liam, baseline drive. Kicks it out. Aguado for 3. No good. Rebound to Hankerson.
And the looks are just too good for Cuesta.
Well, that's a shot that Aguado's knocked down a couple of times already tonight. Reyes will pull up, set things up for the Pirates. The Cougars stay in the zone. Sells finds Young. Back to Sells. Starts a drive. Fennell at the elbow. Fennell facing up on Ozell, fires from 15 and scores.
Money. That's all day right there. You got somebody about 6 inches smaller than you are. Just go to work, turn and face.
Pirates push it back out to a 9-point cushion. Ozell around to Saunders screen, hard drive, and a foul called. And Saunders picks up the offensive foul on the moving screen.
He's been doing that all night. That's the second moving pick he's been whistled for.
Wandier will come in and replace Saunders. So we'll quickly set the lineup for you for the Cougars with Ozell and Aguado, and then up front, it's Wandier, Horn, and Liam. So Coach Rusty Blair goes very big on the front line.
Big, but they can shoot.
Young Far side sells back to Young. They work it around to Reyes. Reyes into Fennell, who's quickly double teamed. In fact, it's a triple team. The ball's on the floor and dug out by Cuesta.
That's a very poor decision there from Reyes on the inbound, or trying to get it inside to Fennell. He was double teamed. So the Cougars with it, trailing by 9, trying to cut into it. Wande with it, working on Calvin Young. Great skip pass over to Liam from 3. It's short. Rebound comes to Reyes. He fights for it. He taps it around. Ozell comes away with it. 4-on-1. Guado loses it out of bounds. Just couldn't get a handle on it.
Well, I like the pass. Got Aguado coming in from the right. In range to lay it in, but can't find the handle.
And again, wet spots on the floor continue to plague the gym. 9:59 to go. It's a 9-point advantage. So Ventura defensively hasn't exactly been stellar in the second half. But they find themselves up 1 in the second half to add to their 8-point margin that they had at halftime. Reyes with it on the wing, gives off to Sells. Sells wide open 3 off the front iron. Great bounce in favor of the Pirates. Fennell comes away with it, kicks it back out. Fake pass from Reyes into the corner, and this is going to be a what?
I might have saw a little shuffle of the feet there by Reyes trying to split that double team. Well, we'll see. You got better eyes than me. That looked a little awkward to me.
It looked awkward, and what's the rule? If it looks awkward, it's going to get whistled.
I feel like that's Cepeda's law. Not quite Lawler's law, but I feel it has that certain ring of truth to it.
I like Lawler's law. 54-45, 9:31 to go. Aguado comes around the screen from Wandia. Off to Ozell, looking to enter in. Ozell turns the corner, guarded now by Fennell. Off to Liam from 3. It's short. Rebound, fought for, won by Fennell. Reyes trying to push the tempo, gets it, gives up ahead to Young. That one is tapped around, and it comes right back to Reyes. And Reyes' decision-making a little bit off the mark. He was so good in that first half. He had 16 points in the first. Has cooled down significantly here in the second. And Coach Joey Ramirez is going to want to reset things here offensively. He wants to get a good shot every time down. And, of course, that's always the key. But right now, the Pirates not doing just that. It's 54-45, 9:08 remaining. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back in a moment here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. VC2A men's and women's basketball from Ventura College, and Cuesta hosting here tonight. Western State North Conference tilt. And the ladies getting ready to square up. We saw a couple of them on camera. Rihanna Dugan, Davina Del Castillo. Right now it's a 9-point lead for the men. And VC looking to even up the season series versus Cuesta College. They dropped their first matchup 75-70. Ramirez out of a timeout, trying to set up some two-man game between Hankerson and Fennell. Reyes resets 4, and the shot clock fires from way downtown. That's off the mark. Rebound fought for, and it's won by the Cougars, but Liam with a hold. Great work on the offensive boards by Sells. So Sell, with his work, wins another possession here for the Pirates. So baseline out of bounds with a fresh shot clock. Hankerson gives off to Reyes, and Reyes will go to work. Hankerson reverses it near side. Good ball movement here from the Pirates. Fennell dribbles out of the post. Oh, great entry pass. Sells, kicks it back out. Fennell, Hankerson, Reyes into the lane. 15-foot shot. Good. So Isaiah Reyes with the jumper. Oh, they lose Horn. In transition, it Sells with a block. Great recovery up top. Horn wanted a foul call. No way. The lead is double digits now for the Pirates by 11. 8:12 to go. Reyes looking to enter into the high post. Oh, great high-low pass. Fennell just couldn't handle it going up.
Looked like Wandier got a hand in and ripped it out.
We're back the other way for the Cougars. Cuesta trying to cut into this lead. They had it down to 5. They've trailed by as many as 13. Ozell out front to Aguado from 3. Yes, sir! Andres Aguado.
That's a great job by Aguado, catching and shooting, being ready to shoot that ball.
Yeah, those feet, stellar. Another good high post entry. Hankerson turns and shoots. It's off the mark and off the back iron. Back we go for the Cougars. Aguado, who just hit on a 3, gives off to Ozell. Ozell guarded by Young. Switched on to by Fennell. Fennell. And Wandier from way downtown buries it. It's a 6-0 run for the Cougars, and it's back to a 5-point deficit.
That's his 4th of the game. And, Mike, one thing to consider here is that in recent memory, the Pirates have had a much easier run of it. Cuesta might be a little more tight game tough here, having coming off a double overtime victory in their last game.
And they're at home. It's a great point, Jeff. You talked about it at the top. Santa Barbara had them in their sights. Young, great pass out to Sells. Sells maybe gets away with a travel. Great pass out to Hankerson from 3, and he answers. What an answer by Cordell Hankerson on the other end.
You just can't lose Hankerson in a defensive set.
Well, the Cougars trying to speed things up. Wandier pushes Hankerson to the ground. He's looking for the ball, and we're going to have a wet spot on the floor. Going to have to be cleaned up. That's a good job by the officials coming in right away, knowing that there's a wet spot out there. Potential liability, and they're going to get a towel here from the scorer's table. Cowan getting ready to check back in. I would assume maybe he comes and gets Young. And indeed, Calvin will come off good defensive minutes from Calvin Young.
Well, this has been the pattern lately, particularly late in games. Joey Ramirez likes to go with Reyes and Cowan together.
And the reason being speed, or teams are going to want to speed things up in the half court. It's great when you have 2 players that can play the point and switch off on ball handling duties. They still attend to the wet spot. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stornoff, Matt Henson with you on tonight's coverage. 3C2A men's and women's basketball live on the VC Sports Network and our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. And you can go to YouTube and search SoCal College Sports 1. That's our channel. Subscribe to our channel. You'll be notified by email when we go live. Matt Henson on graphics and technical direction tonight. It's a great move by Ozell in the lane. Crossover dribble through the legs and makes it look easy. Back to a 6-point disadvantage for Cuesta. Can the Pirates answer here? Reyes over to Sells. Hankerson back to Sells. Looking for Fennell down low, guarded by Horn. Here comes a quick double. Great cut. Good pass by Sells over to Cowan. Reyes from 3, no. Oh, Sells wide open. Pump fake, gets into the lane, 12-footer, no good. I don't know if that's Sells' shot.
Well, I think with the lineup they have on the floor right there, I think Sells has got to keep facilitating there, get the ball in the hands of one of the other players.
I think offensively it's a good possession. Ozell from long distance can't dial it up. Reyes tracks down the rebound but loses it to Liam. New possession here for the Cougars, and they can cut into a 6-point lead for the Pirates. Aguado guarded by Cowan. Little bump there. Aguado all the way to the lane. Gets it to go. 59-55.
Good high screen from Horn. Just rubbed Cowan off, and Aguado did the rest.
Bit of a zone look here. Hankerson fires from way downtown. What a response. Hankerson, a couple threes in the last few minutes.
Mike, I think you got to run him off of that shot.
I think you're exactly
That's
right.
3 threes that he's hit in the second half, almost all from the identical spot.
Well, the Cougars keep on clawing their way back, but the Pirates and Cordell Hankerson in particular saying, we got this. It's a 7-point lead for the Pirates right now. 5:01 remaining. Back in a moment on SoCal College Sports.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Joe Cap Realty and Crown Plaza Ventura Beach, Ventura's only beachfront hotel.
Under 5 to go. Cougars trailing it by 7. Aguado with it out front. Aguado turns the corner. Oh, that's a push-off. Step back jumper is good. So Aguado gets away with one there and buries it from the corner. Cuts it to 5. Solid shots all the way down the stretch. That's what you need. I wouldn't say that Hankerson in his last 3 attempts was a solid shot, but he got it to go. He checked, no, gives off to Cowan. Cowan from the elbow, nearly travel. Reyes through the legs, can't turn the corner. Gets a screen from Fennell. Reyes all the way to the bucket, gets the layup to go. Isaiah Reyes. Back to a 7-point lead. Aguado from deep, that's off. Rebound fought for and won by Reyes. And Isaiah alertly will slow things up here. Pirates up 7 in a good spot. 3:47 to go. Hankerson will fire from 3. And Cordell Hankerson going to the tool shed for the shovel. 67-57. Timeout on the floor. We have another wet spot on the floor. Hankerson has 3 triples in the last 5 minutes, and they have been crucial to Ventura keeping the separation. It's going to be a full timeout awarded on the floor. Coach Joey Ramirez talking to his point guards. Isaiah and Eddie Cowan. And you really like the evolution of Isaiah Reyes throughout the season. And you talk about battling adversity throughout. Struggled with a knee injury. He's obviously a difference maker. Isaiah did not play the last time these two teams met. Or if he played, he wasn't at full strength. At full strength now, and he has really been the difference. So Isaiah Reyes leading the show here. He has 22. Cordell Hankerson with 13 second half points has 20. Right now it's a 10-point lead for the Pirates on top of Cuesta. Looking to solidify their place as a top team in the Western State Conference North. Saunders going to bring it in. 3:30 to go. Aguado dribbling up and down, turns the corner, gets a screen from Saunders, gets another screen. Oh, that's a great closeout by Sells. Reyes little bit too much body down low working on Saunders. It's going to be only the 4th team foul. Pirates have done a really good job of not picking up careless fouls. I think that's a good foul there with Reyes decidedly mismatched versus Saunders down low. Wandier working on Hankerson, drives the lane. That's going to be an offensive foul. I think it's a bit of a makeup call. We saw Aguado push off and bury a jumper on the baseline. I think Coach Ramirez did a good job of getting in the official's ear and saying, hey, look, that's a push-off. You got to call it for my guy. We see Wandier lower the shoulder, and he gets whistled for the foul. Costly turnover for the Cougars, trailing it by 10, and here comes Isaiah Reyes, lead scorer tonight here for the Pirates. Possibly looking for a coffin nail this trip down. Reyes to his right, looking for Fennell down low. He's just going to pull up at the free throw line at the elbow. That's a good shot, just can't get it to go. We're off to the races here for the Cougars. Aguado quickly into the front court, gives it off to Liam. Good denial by Reyes. Wandier working on Fennell. This is a good matchup here for the Cougars. 3, Wandier, it's short. Cowan going to slow things up here. Expect the Pirates to take the air out of the ball in these last few possessions. 2:30 to go. Cowan looks up at the clock. 16 on the shot clock, drives the lane. Gets Ozell off of him, through the legs. Off to Cordell Hankerson. Heat check 3, missed almost everything. Wandier now back the other way quickly, and he'll be fouled in transition. Another good foul in transition on Wandier, as it's only the 15th foul. Remember, this is game 1 of 2 here tonight. The women up next. We have a timeout on the floor. This is going to be called by Cuesta. Desperately needing a bucket on this possession. And they will talk about it. 2:16 to go. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports.
Today's broadcast is being brought to you in part by Grill Tech Realty and Crown Plaza Ventura Beach.
So what will Cuesta conjure up out of bounds? Great denial there by Fennell. Forces Liam out front. Aguado from 3 and the top. No good, rebounded by Vida. Reyes splits a double team. Crossover dribble. Into the lane, left or right-handed layup, and they just can't stop Isaiah Reyes. He has 24 with Mama watching at home. Got to get back on defense, though, if you're Eddie Cowan. Gives up an easy one on the other end. Ozell's going to lay it up back-to-back. No. Pirates dodge a bullet there. Sells in transition. Bounce pass. Hankerson will bring it back out. Smart play by Cordell. And he's fouled. No, they're going to say that he stepped on the sideline. Cordell trying to sell the foul. And he ran out of real estate. Aguado. Well, Aguado slipped earlier. Looked like he slipped again. They're going to call the foul on Sells. Aguado on the deck. He's okay. Stepped off with a knee injury. By my look of it, probably dealing with a little bit of tendonitis. I know what that feels like. It's not fun. Earlier in the season, Isaiah Reyes had 22 versus Antelope Valley. He has surpassed that, by my count, 24. 28. Excuse me. So 28 tonight so far for Isaiah Reyes. So third time's a charm. I'll get this right. 28 is his season high. He has 24 tonight. That's right. No official stats. That's why we say our stats aren't official. But that is the official stat. 1:30 to go. Still a 10-point deficit for the Cougars. They try to enter into Saunders. It's tapped out of bounds by Reyes. Great job by Isaiah denying the bigger 6'7" Noah Saunders. Saunders will inbound to Ozell. Hancock, meanwhile, trailing Moore Park by 6. It's going to be a jump ball. I want to say the arrow is going to go in favor of the Cougars. There's Cowan. Lost possession there. Another wet spot on the floor. 3C2A men's and women's basketball championships up at Las Positas March 9th through the 12th. We will have coverage for you here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 4th year in a row now. We will have coverage of the championships. And first 2 years at Cerritos. Some great games and last year at Las Positas, and looking forward to being there again. That'll be our second trip this school year. We were there for men's and women's water polo back in November.
It was cold up there too, Mike.
It was a little chilly. It gets a little chilly up there in Livermore. Avida on the wrong end. Runs back defensively. He'll be guarding Liam. Ozell working on Sells. Guado trying to come free. It's Townsend from 3. No good. Rebound fought for. Won by Fennell. It's going to go against Aguado. We'll check that. It's going to be a push. This is going to be a foul on Fennell? Wow. I want to see where this foul is. So a missed shot goes up. He's boxing out, gets a rebound. Wow. That's a terrible call. That might be one of the worst calls that I've seen at this level. It might seem very obscure and very just ho-hum, but that is a terrible call. Fennell, contact initiated from the backside by Aguado on the offensive rebound, and he's called for the foul.
Mike, it does have a certain phantom quality to it.
I'm sure I'm probably going to have to clip that out for Will Cowan.
He's tweeting about it right now.
He should be. That's a terrible call. Well, there were 2 terrible calls at the end of the first half that resulted in Ventura losing their composure a little bit. Hankerson was teed up, but they regrouped very nicely as if should the score stand, or the lead stand anyway. 1-and-1 opportunity.
Come on, Mike, say it. Give me the Rasheed Wallace.
Ball don't lie.
What took you so long? Can't believe I had to prompt you on that one.
Well, I was waiting for the play to resume. So the front end of the 1-and-1 is missed by Aguado. What's Aguado from the line? By my recollection, he's pretty good. He shoots at an 80% clip, and he misses on the front end of the 1-and-1.
For those that believe in the ball don't lie principle. Compelling evidence. Meanwhile, Reyes creeps toward a new season high. 3rd time in the last 4 games that Reyes has gone for 20 or more. They're 5-0 since he's returned. If this score holds up.
Is he like Deion Lewis for the New England Patriots? Now 17-0 since he's played with the Patriots.
He doesn't know what it is to lose.
So they wave off the first made free throw from Reyes. Gets another crack at it. Rolls home.
No stopping Isaiah Reyes.
No. 25-26 now for Isaiah.
If there has been a struggle for Reyes since he's come back, it's been from the line. Can you imagine how dangerous he'll be if he starts to get that together?
Guado gives off to Liam. Left-handed layup is good. Cuts it back to a 10-point lead, 71-61. Ramirez is going to check into the ball game.
It's a final at Allen Hancock, Moore Park. The Raiders a 6-point win, 73-67.
The Raiders. We will see Moore Park on Saturday. Different start times, 1 and 3 p.m. We'll have our site updated later in the week. And remember to follow us, everybody, on social media. At SoCal College SPO, and then on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. That's our channel. Subscribe. Our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Full time out on the floor. We're going to take a short time out ourselves. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports.
(71-59). The Pirates closing in. Let's correct that score very quickly. It is 71-61 with 54.2 remaining. And another shout out. I want to say a hello to Matt Geyer, watching on the broadcast, supporter of Ventura College basketball. And Matt, the guys say hey. So.
Yeah, that was the word that we got from the bench.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not just us saying hi. That is a hello from the bench.
That's a shout out from the bench. The staff. So, as the women get ready to take the floor. How about Ventura? Last 2 wins, very gritty down the stretch. These are tough wins. It's pretty well-coached teams. Allen Hancock.
Well, I think, Michael, one thing you have to be very excited about if you're following this Pirate team is this may be the best defensive effort, sustained defensive effort that we have seen in our coverage so far this season for this team. And with the way they have been playing offensively over the last few weeks, if they could start to gel on both ends of the court, as we've been talking about, they become a very dangerous out. This is not going to be an easy team to get out of there in a playoff format.
Especially with their ability to shoot the long ball. Townsend fires from 3 and hits. Cuts it to 9. Reyes quickly now fouled. He fouled by Aguado.
I think the one thing that you have to say for the Pirates is they're looking at a situation where they're going to have to go on the road in all likelihood, and that is very difficult to do. But, you know, they have a guy in Isaiah Reyes who makes so many things possible. With his
sorry to interrupt on Reyes. He tweaked his knee on that play, and I don't like the body language or the reaction to the contact.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And he's been so good here tonight. I think he's gonna match his season high with 28.
And then you factor in, just getting back to the point very quickly, Hankerson's ability, and then the variety that Vita Fennell has to his game. They become a very difficult team to defend.
Yeah, you can go inside and out. The spacing has been much better, large part in due to the three-point shooting ability. That should have been an intentional foul. Townsend raked Cowan across the face, telling the referee about it. Referee probably don't like it. Not a shocker there. You know, for as much as players cry about not being the offending party on foul calls, I'm sure referees don't like to hear about it just as much. 33 seconds to go, a 9-point lead for Ventura. Free throw up and good.
Second half, 6:48 remaining. El Camino on top of Long Beach, 104-97. That's like an 80s Denver Nuggets score on the way there. Is that one going to be about 140, 130 before it's all said and done?
That'll be an impressive score at the end, to be sure. El Camino with a win over Cerritos. Cerritos just beat Compton. Liam from 3, no good. Rebounded by Reyes. High up for it. He's fouled by Aguado.
Well, that's a good sign for Reyes' knee right there. Getting off the floor on that one.
The big thing about Isaiah Reyes, there's just so much fire there. And it's about controlling that fire and knowing when to turn up the heat. And tonight, he has been fantastic. Just an A-plus performance from Isaiah Reyes, and it's going to show up in the box score, new season high. After this made free throw, I think it's 29 at least.
I'll tell you who I think I finally got it. I'll tell you if he now obviously anytime we make comparisons, we're talking about players that are at a different level and have had more time to develop and hone their games. But if Reyes can work on his passing skills a little bit, continue to hone that part of his game. How about Kevin Johnson?
God, that's a great call, and he's athletic. I don't know if he gets up quite like Kevin did,
but just so insanely fast. Yeah. And Kevin Johnson, very strong, a little guy who could take a lot of contact and get the ball up on the rim.
With some ups. And Kevin Johnson, is he still the mayor of Sacramento?
I believe he is.
I think he's.
We do like a good NBA player comparison.
We really do. No, that's a great call. I mean, now KJ was a lefty, right?
No, he shot right-handed.
See, I just think he's a lefty because the dunk he had over Olajuwon was with the left hand.
Oh, my God.
Man. And take Reyes out.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe Kevin Johnson, a guy who had knee problems as well, and still had the kind of explosiveness
unbelievable
that he did.
Fennell just staying in front of Townsend, lets him go past. Layup is meaningless at this point, 4 seconds to go. And Ventura avenges a loss in the second game of conference play earlier this season. Now atop the Western State Conference North via a 79-68 win over Cuesta on the road. Impressive showing, best showing I think tonight for Ventura on the season. And this team in the playoffs, watch out. Back in a moment with a recap of stats, and we will segue into our second game of our doubleheader coverage here. The women up next. Back in a moment. Man, 79-68 and a new season high tonight here for Isaiah Reyes with family watching back home. Man, what a performance and what an energy level you bring to this ball club.
Appreciate it, man.
And I know you got some family watching back home. Mama Wanda.
Man. Love all of you watching. Appreciate the support from anybody, family or not.
I really want to talk about now. I know you've had some knee trouble this season. Obviously, I know a little bit about knee trouble myself, but battling probably through some tendonitis.
Yeah.
I know you. I saw you take a bit of a shot at the end there. They were trying to get physical with you. How's the knee?
The knee, it's weird. Like the knee, honestly, it's like it comes and goes. But honestly, I'm just gonna keep fighting through it and worry about that once the season's over. It's nothing like critical like that. I had got an MRI. We weren't sure at first. They thought I had a minor tear in my meniscus, but they checked it over, so they said that it was none. They said I was clear to practice and play, so I'm just going to keep battling for my guys.
Yeah, it could be something where it's just a slight tweak and something that's uncomfortable that creates inflammation.
Yeah.
And obviously I know you're doing what you can to get in some rehab as much as possible.
Yes.
We're probably going to ice this baby down. Do you guys leave now, or do you watch the women's game?
I'm not even sure. Sometimes we stay for a little bit, but I'm not really sure.
It's a long drive down. I mean, we came from Hollywood, so that's quite the trek. But again, can you maybe talk about your performance? Now 6-0 since you've come back into the starting lineup. You're obviously a difference maker. But what do you think the team has done well? Not only rallying around you, but man, defensively, you guys look locked in tonight.
Yeah, honestly, man, I try to play with the most heart I can, and I'm a guy, like, I run big on loyalty, so like me coming from New Jersey and then like coming out here and stuff, so it's like they're showing me a lot of love, you know, I have a lot of support, so I just give back on the court and give my all, and I just play like I got something to lose, like, you know.
Yeah, you know what I really like? I like your fire, and you know, sometimes I think when you came back initially from your injury, it was about controlling that fire. You weren't doing a very good job of controlling that and knowing when to turn up the heat. And right now, you've started to really find your groove. When do you use that hesitation step? When do you blow by somebody? When you get your hips by your defender? Nobody can stop you. Yeah. And now it really benefits players like Vida Fennell, Cordell Hankerson. They feed off of your energy, and I really like what Coach Ramirez has wrinkled in here. You and Eddie Cowan playing at the same time. You guys can switch off ball handling duties. You can go 2 guards, you can go 1 guard. That's a huge dynamic to play, especially when you get ahead of teams and they try to speed things up. Having that decision-making and the ball handling out there really paying dividends.
Definitely, man. Eddie Cowan, he's my guy, man. We work well together. There's no animosity with anybody. We're all family on this side.
Well, everybody's bought in specifically tonight. Huge win here, avenging an earlier season loss to Cuesta in the second game of conference play. A 79-68 winner. Ventura College over the Cougars here, and game 2 about to come up for the women. Special thanks here to Isaiah Reyes, Will Cowan, Athletic Director, Pete Schuler, SID, Bob Mariucci here at the Athletic Director here at Cuesta College for setting us up for Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Zepeda, and Matt Henson signing off here. Back for game 2 in a moment here. SoCalCollegeSports.com. Thank you for watching.
Appreciate it, man. Definitely.